YouTube. I'm into day 6. Coming in, I wanted to just show you a couple of quick things that I've changed. Today, as you can see, I have zero gauge wire running down and around to my bus bar. There's my positive bus bar and there's my negative bus bar. I have those coupled together. This is for my solar, this is straight to the inverter, and this is my battery right here. This is my meter. But anyway, if you'll notice, I have these connected directly with where the solar comes in. That way when the sun is out and I want to run everything, I can have power come straight, or as straight as possible, from the solar panels, and then just as little as possible comes out of the battery bank. I figured this would eliminate a few of the ghost amps I would lose from charging the batteries completely and then sending the power to the inverter. I could be wrong. It's just a theory. I'm just testing that, but like I said, I have those connected as if it was one continuous wire with the batteries in as a backup. I'm hoping that works. I know that I have about an 8-foot wire drawing from my battery bank, and then this wire here going to my solar meter is about 4 foot. So 4 foot, and then I have another 4 foot here. That's 8 foot from the solar inverter or solar panel, and then it's another 8 foot plus the 4. Which equals 12 from the battery. So I figured the further the electricity has to come from the battery, the less that it's going to actually have going through the wiring. Could be wrong. I might be wrong, but just thinking in that way, I'm thinking that current will go wherever it's going to be used as fast as possible. But anyway, back on to this side. Another thing that I have done over the weekend, actually over the past day, is basically put an instantaneous switch in. Basically, it's just going to read out the voltage. I'm going to actually wire up my amp meter tomorrow. It's a little late tonight to do it, but basically I can see the voltage and the amperage of the lower battery meter whenever it is hooked up to the inverter. Right now I have my small inverter running the house. The big inverter is disconnected. I had it running my my water pump outside, and at some point the water was pumping. It was pumping very, very strong, and then the water pressure dropped. I go outside to look and figure out what happened, and I look at it, and my water pipe is spraying water into the air. It's an old rusted pipe, and I'm thinking that had something to do with why I was losing pressure. But basically I go outside and water spraying straight into the air from the pipe. I'll show you guys a video of that tomorrow. It's a little late tonight to actually be able to film it. But anyway, that's what I've done so far. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys tonight was the fact that I was going to show you how I can make a meal. Right now I'm watching a little bit of TV. That's the entertainment. Got the fan going. So I'm pulling about 25 amps. I'm going to flip this sideways, show you again the voltage of the small bank. The big bank is at 12.5, but if I turn both the small and the little one on, you'll notice that both of them share the load, and you'll notice that the voltage starts to drop here. 12.6, 12.7. It was just 12.8, 12.7. But anyway, it's something that I've wired up so that basically I can switch power loads. Like I'm about to turn my big bank off, and now you'll notice that power is still on. It's coming out of the small bank. It's at 12.6, which is almost full. And we have almost nothing coming out of here. The only thing that actually will record coming off of this should be the fact that this big inverter is on, and also probably the battery meter itself. The battery meter itself probably pulls in about 1.5 amps. You'll start to see that as we go along. One interesting thing about when I connect the two batteries, being that they're different types, I think their voltages drop substantially, and possibly even the amperage that's allowed to go through drops, because as soon as I switch over, I'll notice the fans start to slow down. I'll notice the lights dim just a little bit, and yeah, I was right, it's about 1.5 amps, but I'm getting 1.2, maybe it's less, I don't know. Anyway, I'm about to turn the main load back on and turn the small bank back off. And as soon as I do that, I just notice that the amps goes up, but also I notice that basically the fan spins a lot faster and a lot smoother. Something weird. But anyway, Of course, I've shown you guys this switch. This is for my other charge controller I had hooked up. It's no longer connected, but I'm planning to get another charge controller in so that I can charge between the primary bank and the secondary bank. And most likely it's going to always be on the secondary bank, just in case, you know, I forget to turn both loads on so that they can charge. Anyway, freezer's running, TV's running, fans running. Now I'm about to cook a meal. I'm thinking I'm going Chef Boyardee. I'm going to pause this so I can start the stove, and I'll show you how it's done. Alright, being that I don't have permanent water hooked up, only when basically I'm running the water pump, I just wanted to show you how I get water in here. I have my trusty old battery powered thing here, but to wash dishes I actually have soap water and bleach mixed down here with a switch hooked up to it, and I just basically hit my on button and water begins to flow. Voila. And that's pumped straight from down here. And okay, now I'm gonna hit the switch again and the water turns off. Not sure if you can hear the pump, but it's a pump that I installed inside of this container, and you should be able to see my wiring coming out, and that's connected directly up to my DC batteries. It doesn't pull a lot of power. Actually, it pulls less than 3/4 of an amp to run the water pump. So originally I was going to use that pump to push water into a fish tank, maybe, or work with some type of hydroponic system. I haven't gotten that far yet, so for now it's just basically pumping water into my sink so that I can wash dishes. I basically took a 1x6, drilled the hole that was big enough for the hose to go through, set it above the sink, and basically it just pours water in there whenever I'm needing it, and ignore the clamp. I just put that in there whenever I had it connected to the side of this counter, but it held it up too high, as you can see. So anyway, just wanted to show you that. I'm about to put some water into this pot, scrape it down real good, and then get it outside. Let me put it on hold. Okay, YouTube, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to cut this one short because I'm an idiot. Alright, this thing's almost completely bone dry. Let me show you why I say I'm an idiot. For storage yesterday, I decided to put my water inside of this freezer so I can get it cool. You know, have some cool water when I pump it out and change it out. Never did change it out. Anyway, as you can see, it's 18 degrees. Had it sitting in here. There's a water line down there because the water started to bubble out. What do you think happened to my 5 gallons of water? It froze. This thing is completely solid ice. Oh my God. If you can hear that, that smash again gets metal. This is a block of ice. So it looks like I won't be cleaning my pot, which means I will not be cooking tonight. That's very weird. I've never seen that. The water basically bubbled and actually expanded here. It's kind of cool. Sucks, but it's kind of neat at the same time. So anyway, I have to cut the day short. Uh-oh, that's cracking. Oh boy. Anyway, I'm gonna have to cut the night short, unless I can pour it in. Well, I'll tell you what, YouTube, I'm gonna go ahead and open this container, pour the water into the pot to finish cleaning it up. I've cleaned it up pretty well, but I'm gonna pour the water into it and then basically boil it out, make sure the pot's sanitary, and then that's when I'll put my Chef Boyardee in there. This thing's gonna explode at some point. I can hear the cracking. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh my goodness, it's gonna explode. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna put the top off. Maybe that'll help. Oh, the sticker stuck on there. Yeah, I can't even get in there because it's got a valve in there that pressure release. Oh well, I'm gonna leave it out for tonight. Hopefully I won't have a puddle of water on my floor. But I'm finna clean my pot, like I said, and then we'll take this outside and I'll show you how I cook my meal. Alright, I can't remember where I got this, but this is a Coleman dual flame grill. As you can see, it's nighttime. very dark. The only light is this bulb on my front porch, which attracts bugs, of course. But anyway, open this up. Not sure if you can see this, but basically you can pour your own fluid in there, or you can use gasoline. This thing cost me, I think, 38 bucks at Walmart. It's like a camping gear kit. I usually use it on the inside if I use propane, but you know, I just want to make sure it's a safety thing. I don't want to end up causing a fire. I have fire extinguishers, just don't want to burn it down. Anyway, as soon as I get these this gate up, or grate up, I'll go ahead and light her up for you so you can see how it works. So what you do is you spin your lever, pump fuel in there for the first part. I use this like 10 pumps. It tells you can do up to 40 when you first hook it up. I'll do 10 just to get the gas pumped. Once you get it primed, basically the heat will cause the gas to build up and it'll continue to funnel the gas in. Anyway, it has a regular pilot light. You lift your lever, you turn the gas on, and of course have a lit match. Of course I can't do that because I can't hold it and hold this at the same time. So let me try this again. Okay, gas is on, and there we go. Ooh, that's hot. You can light up to 2 burners, one on each side. You light the first one and hit it on the high flame. You have a lot of flame control on this, surprisingly. Basically spin your dial. Pretty neat. You want to spin it to as blue as possible. The white or the yellow actually produces soot, which is not good, but I actually have an experiment when I want to turn soot into graphene or some type of graphinated base for capacitors. I'm not sure if you guys know about capacitors, but they're made out of graphene, the supercapacitors that I use. Anyway, that's another project in itself. You turn the flame up, and I'm going to go grab the pot and throw some water on here and let it boil. One bad thing about cooking on that grill thing is if you don't have a screened-in porch out there, sometimes the beetles can get on your nerves. Those things jump out every now and again, and they just latch onto you. One thing that I was thinking about doing is, this is actually a back door. I was using it at one point when I would crank my generator or walk through it. I'm thinking about using the screened-in back porch and put a light out there, building somewhat of a frame for cooking, or a little place for cooking. That way, you know, it's on the back and not really that noticed. And then on top of that, get rid of the bugs that bite me or try to jump on me and bite me. They usually don't get that chance too often. But anyway, thinking about opening that up. So if you are using one of those Coleman outside grills, make sure you actually seal it off so that you can not be eaten. Anyway, my water's out there boiling. My amps are dropping. I think my freezer's compressor turned off. Yeah, it's at 16 degrees. That was something weird. Anyway. There's my fan experiment. Have to get back to that. Haven't worked on it in the last day. Here's my hydroponics experiment. Here's my other water pump. That was for my hydroponics. Here's some extra wiring. Another 10 farad capacitor for another project I'm working on. Got a lot of different things that'll keep me busy during this whole vacation. Anyway, that's my camera, or my monitor for my camera system that I had mounted. I need to remount it, put it back up there. Anyway, while the water's boiling, I'm just giving you another tour, an update. If you remember when I first got here, my battery bank was here and here. Well, now it's not. So I have sanitized my pot. Boiled water in there basically to do so. I can clean my dishes with Dawn dish detergent and things like that, but when I have it sitting, I like to sanitize it. Anyway, this pot is supposed to be silver at the bottom. What I was telling you guys is that I want to see about extracting some type of carbon-based graphene or graphite, some type of graphite, carbon-based, anything, to build what I call supercapacitors. That's what they're using right now is lead pencils. They'll take them and they'll double tape them, split them, and the carbon-based atom basically joins with itself on a molecular scale. I could draw it out for you on my board. But anyway, basically it's a six-sided shape that basically allows for a lot of storage, and that storage is usually in energy form. So you can put a high density charge on it and basically discharge it all at one time, and that's what I want to do. Anyway, I'm about to show you how this soot is easier to be used, because now I just put soot here and I can make it thinner by doing that. And I'm wondering if that's a lot easier than the way that they're using it now, which is basically pouring lead that's been broken down into a strainer, melting it using a laser, and putting it on sheets, and then cutting the sheets up and making capacitors. I know it's a lot more technical than it should be, but basically I want to see if I can use this soot as a new way of making graphene. Curious about that. I'm gonna get one of my guys that has a microscope to kind of look at it for me and see, or actually get a little bit of research done about it and see if I can get something close, or as close anatomically as possible, because that would be something cool. Anyway, about to make my ravioli. I've cut it open, got my pot. It's just simple, pour it in. I usually don't eat the whole thing, so I'll put this back. I'll put a bag over it, a Ziploc bag, seal it, put it inside the freezer. Taking this, throw it in on the grill, or throw it on the stove. 2.5 minutes. It doesn't take long to cook. Actually, it doesn't take long at all on a high flame. And as you can see, I'm done boiling. Taking this back inside, setting it on my nice desk I have there. And I'm gonna go turn the grill off, or stove off, by spinning to the light. It's voila, voila, voila. And turning the outside light off so my beetles can stop jumping on my window. I labeled this when I first made it and destroyed the framing that I had in there. But anyway, it works. Inside, off, on, and it has my little solar power button and logo. Anyway, I'm about to make myself something to eat. As far as the rest, that's it. That's how I make a meal. That's how I entertain myself. This is what I do on my time in between. As far as taking a bath, I'm not taking one tonight because I busted my pipe, as I said, and I'm going to look into that tomorrow, and I'm going to get one of you guys to give me some recommendations on how to cap a pipe from the outside of your house so that you can actually get water pressure back inside your house. Thank you.